right, now we are moving on to pricing scheme. Pricing scheme is an environment or an area where you will actually define all your pricing on how you're going to manage your business and make money and be able to be profitable. The scheme here is more or less a pricing plan. So, assuming you got a cyber, you open your cyber. I'll take the test cyber for example. You give it a name like M30 and give how much money you want to sell that ticket, maybe 200 francs for example. And then you put how many minutes you want to this ticket to assume and allotted minutes, 30 minutes, and how long this ticket should expire after first used. It doesn't expire until it's used at least one time. And then you can allow this particular scheme to run anytime, any day, by setting all the days. It runs anytime, any day. Once you choose this option, the time between here is ignored, and everything else should be left alone. And here you should put 9999. That is how long a customer can stay on that machine for a given scheme and they get kicked out. This option is not very useful for to be used for cyber cafe, but it's used in schools where students are not allowed to use one computer for a long time. They want to give room for other students to use the system. So for a cyber cafe, put 999, which means unlimited, and then everything else is the same. Enable the scheme so that it is immediately available. Let members renew their accounts when they log into the cafe agent or cafe manager screen, and they can also change their password as well. Then when you submit that, and then you have a scheme that has been saved, it shows it here has been saved. You can actually go back and make changes. Sometime in the future, you may decide to make changes to the scheme. You click there, and of course, you see the scheme that I just created. I mean, that one is the one I created. You can edit it by clicking edit and then make changes to the scheme and close and update. Of course, you update it. So that's how you create a scheme, and the scheme now will be available for uh, printing ticket. Let's go now and pretend to print a ticket. You pick the cyber that you created the scheme for, and when you look down in the list, voila, here is the M15 that M30 that we created. You can now generate ticket against it. Um, you generate tickets, and here are your tickets that you can print. So now you know how to design your schemes from the screen, how to design your schemes, customize it to your needs, create as many schemes as you can, and then your attendant can only print tickets against those schemes and sell to your customers. Assuming that some of the scheme you don't want the scheme to be available to the attendant to be used, you pick your cyber cafe, find the scheme that you don't want to be sold or to be used, click on this button to disable the scheme, and that particular scheme will not be available for printing. Let's find out. Go back to generate ticket, pick the cyber cafe, look up for the scheme is no more there. So the cyber attendant will not have a chance to be able to use that scheme because it's been disabled. And with that, you know how to um, create schemes, disable schemes. And the last thing to show here is that you can also set pricing for your printer. Let's say you have this printer listed. You can say I want to print a page for 100 francs. You put 100 there and submit that. Now you have set up printing so that every page that is sent towards that printer, the amount will be calculated as revenue generated for that day, and the cyber attendant will have to turn that money to the owner. And with that, we conclude the pricing scheme capability of the software, where you do your pricing once and they continue to maintain if necessary.